today we're going to discuss about using memory or pointers in C. So let's get started. Let me go ahead and pull up this, and as you can see I have this file created, ex42 underscore using memory, and I have these statements added earlier as well. So C is designed to be a low-level language that can easily access memory locations and performs memory-related operations. For instance, on this line, the scanf function places the value entered by the user at the location or address of the variable. So this is accomplished by using this AND symbol. So as you can see in this example, we created a num, asked the user to enter a number using the printf function, and then get the input using the scanf function, put it in the num variable, and then display it back to the screen. So the end num here, the end num is the address of a variable num. So a memory address is given as a hexadecimal number. Hexadecimal or hex is a base 16 number system that uses digits 0 through 9 and letters A through F, 16 characters to represent a group of 4 binary digits that can have a value from 0 to 15. It's much easier to read a hex number that is 8 characters long for 32 bits of memory than to try to decipher 32 ones and zeros in a binary. So I'm going to give you an example. Let me demonstrate it to you. Let me just delete this real quick, and let's create an int integer, initialize it to 0, and then let's print it on the screen. Printf the address of I is, this time we're going to use the X for the hex, new line, separator, and then the address of I. Next is let's call the function I, and then print the address of I is %x, the new line, separator, then the address of I again. Then let's try calling the function one more time. So let's try to create, let's don't forget to create the function. So test function, this should be a void function, it will not return anything. And then let's create a function in here that's just going to display the information on the screen. So the address of K is %x, new line, address of, just like that. So it's not going to return any value, it's a void type function. So let's go ahead and run this. Right click, and I have an error somewhere. Let's just find that error. Okay, I have found the error. So as you can see, I haven't created the type, so my parameters in here doesn't have the type. So it's a K, it's an integer type, so I forgot to put in here. So as you can see, we have called the function, we pass the value, we pass the I variable, so whatever value, whatever I has, we pass it to the function, so it should match whatever value we have here. So we since it's an integer type, it should also be an integer type in here. So I forgot to include that one. So let's go ahead and run this one more time, compile and run, and this time we get the result correctly. So again, it's much easier to read a hex number that is 8 characters long for 32 bits of memory than to try to decipher 32 ones and zeros in binary. So in this example, the program displays the memory addresses for the variables I and K. So for the I and K, that's their memory addresses. And let's go back to our code. So in the printf statement, the X in here, you notice we use a different specifier in here. We use X. So X is the hex format specifier. So the program output varies from run to run or from system to system, but it should look similar to what I have in here. If you have a different output, you have different numbers in here, as long as as long as it's an address. So you might be getting different result, since if in case you're using a different machine. So some will get 846DD754. Mine is 62FE4C. that's the address for the I. So the address of a variable stays the same from the time it is declared until the end of its scope. So that's it, and before you wrap up Let's Test Your Knowledge, I have here a little exercise for you in this tab. So I want you to fill in the blanks to declare an integer variable and print its address in hex format. So as you can see, I have this code in here that needs to be filled in. So if you know the answer, if you know what's missing, please feel free to put it in the comment section below. Thank you.